Alright guys, before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about Futtrading.co.uk. It's a website run by myself and V273 where we help you guys to make millions of coins on FIFA every single month. I know you guys mentioned that I talk about it a lot in my videos, but the reason for that is the website helps allow us both to be full-time, and it means I'm able to bring out 3, sometimes 4 videos a day on YouTube because I can pay for an editor and give those who can't afford the website as many trading tips as I possibly can do. £10 a month gets you access to Tier 1, which gives you buying and selling prices for silver cards, special cards, icons and Thursday flips. Tier 2 is £15 a month. It includes all of Tier 1 and access to live filters, our ChemStar area, which is extremely effective right now. Hundreds of thousands of coins being made every day from there. And our fluctuation area, where we monitor the market for lows and highs, allowing you to make as much coins as possible. So make sure you check it out. But for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. I upload 3 times a day. The morning's usually League SBC Method to Glory, where I show you guys how to do League SBC Method. It's essentially crafting packs for free, so make sure you check those out. Usually comes with a really good intro. So you're sort of taking a mick out of EA is the best way of putting it. The evening video, this video is usually a trading video teaching you guys how to make coins. You can then use those coins in League SBC Method to get a better team, all that good stuff. And then the evening upload, the nighttime upload, that is the midnight, tends to be the content we get at 6 PM, but it all does depend on what the content is because sometimes EA don't drop anything good. Make sure you click that like button. It's massively important. It helps your channel grow, gets the videos recommended. Try and get the video up to 50 likes. It would be absolutely insane. And comment down below anything you guys want to see in coming videos. This channel tends to be run by you guys, and I tend to make sure it's content that you guys want to see. And with that in mind, this video is all about how to make coins tonight during the Headliners promo. So for those of you that don't know, Headliners is essentially a promo whereby we get what we call live cards, cards that upgrade throughout the sort of life cycle of the game. And it's one of the best promos of the year for a lot of people. Essentially what happens is these cards need to win X amount of games in a row, or any time a card gets a special card, the headliner gets upgraded by 1, and they come out with an upgrade on their best so far, their inform, whatever it is. They come out with the best version of that so far. The reason why Headliners is so fun for people is because the cards themselves are great to trade with throughout the year. Now, I've already brought out a promo trading guide on how to make coins from Headliners in general, but this is about how you make coins specifically tonight. So I'm going to go over a few things that you guys need to be thinking about for tonight. Some lower budget methods, some really higher budget methods, and then you guys can sort of decide where best to put your coins. So I'm going to get into it. We're going to start, as usual, by talking about silvers. I will be right back. Alright guys, so last night at midnight I brought out a trading video for you guys with regards to the Bundesliga silvers. Reason for that is the Bundesliga SBC has just dropped. The silver Bundesligas are very, very low right now because everyone who has them has supplied them onto the market. People who opened up their packs yesterday with silvers put them onto the market. And they are slowly starting to rise. However, tonight at 6 PM, we are very likely to see a lot of people who held their packs for the Headliners promo open them up, and that will increase silver supply. So chances are Bundesliga silvers will hold very, very low. So I'm going to show you guys, I've got 22,000 coins in the bank right now. The reason for that is I have 1 million coins sat in these silver cards right here. The teams you want to be looking at are Bielefeld, you want to be looking at Stuttgart, you want to be looking at Mainz. To a degree, you probably could be looking at Cologne as well. They're quite good. And ideally, you want to buy these cards. You want to check those prices before 6 PM and you want to buy them low. But I will give you a rough estimate of what to buy for. The Armenia Bielefeld centre-backs, 1,500 coins and below. You should be perfectly fine on those. Their strikers, their cams, their centre-mids, their CDMs, something in and around 1,000 coins. You'll be fine on those. They will eventually rise up in the next few days to make your profit. Stuttgart centre-backs, 1.5k and below is a good buy price. Augsburg right back, somewhere about 1,500 coins and below should be fine on that. Ideally lower than that would be good though. And then Union Berlin, I'll give you a price on the left backs there, about 1,500 coins and below on those too. Now what will happen over the course of this promo is, EA tend to release a daily SBC, but it's never ever tradable at the moment. It's very rarely tradable. So silver supply should be quite low because the promo packs don't tend to be silver packs. It tends to be prime player packs, rare player packs, jumbo rare player packs. And so we don't get much silver supply, but people will want to open packs. So what will happen is these cards we're buying cheap now will be taken off the market and submitted to SBCs, never to be seen again. And as they do that, they come off the market and that increases their price. It's supply and demand. Now, if you look at the Serie A, for example, someone like Benevento, I've mentioned this a few times now, their defenders rarely get below 5,000 coins because they're a silver-heavy team. So Armenia Bielefeld, I've only got 2 gold players in them at all. So they will go up. They will rise and they will get exponentially more expensive. So you want to hold them for at least another 24, 48 hours, possibly more. If you want to open up packs, only buy enough for maybe one of each of them or stick a few in your transfer pile. I leave mine here unassigned. I've got, I don't know how many cards now, but maybe 700 cards to sell. But leave them in your transfer targets because you can't open packs up when you have these cards stacked there. But it's a really good time to buy in tonight, so make sure you're not missing out on it because the profit on these silvers will be higher than any profit method you will do this weekend in terms of coin spend. I've spent 1 million coins. I'm hoping to make back 1.5 million in total. Probably a little bit more than that if things go well. It's incredibly profitable. It makes a lot of coins very easily. So make sure you're doing that tonight. Now we need to talk about fodder. Fodder is a weird one because at the moment fodder is at a sort of mid price. It's not high, it's not low. You guys remember on the 0 to 1 million, I showed you guys when we rash invested in 84 rated cards. So Azpilicueta, Saul, those sort of players. At the moment, Azpilicueta's on Xbox is set at about 6,000 coins. When there is demand for the SBCs, is it 6,100? Demand for the SBCs, these 84s will spike massively. Now, there's some small risk in this, and I'll explain that in a second. At the moment, fodder has a price because there's an icon SBC out. There's like that's the base and mid. There is the normal base icon, and there's also normal icons out as well. So fodder has a demand to some degree. Where fodder does really well is if EA, in which they have been doing this whole promo, and every promo so far, if EA release a meta SBC card that's relatively good, relatively strong, people will go out and do that. And what you need to be looking at realistically at 6 PM tonight is seeing what content comes out. If EA drop an SBC straight away, that's of a good player that a lot of people are going to do, then you want to buy into fodder. But you want to buy in just after any lightning round or promo packs are open. Because what happens is, Azpilicueta right now is sat at 6,100 coins. Well, now he's up again because someone's bought him off the market. 6,200 coins again. He's sat there at 6.2. What happens is everyone that opens up packs lists their stuff up, and then people start to undercut. And these cards come down very heavily in price very, very quickly. While everyone's opening packs up, a lot of people aren't looking at the SBCs that come out in the game. And because the SBCs themselves are, you really need one like an Awa. If you remember Awa, for example, everyone did Awa. Pretty much everyone I know did Awa because it was an 85 rated team for a brilliant card. A lot of people went and did him. So League Un fodder went through the roof. It was incredible. Like the coins that were made during that night were ridiculous. So again, if we get, for example, I'm going to throw it out there as an example of who might get as a headliner. We're probably not going to get one like that. But let's say theoretically Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's not going to be him, just for reference. But he's probably going to require a Premier League team, Premier League players. That's where you buy your fodder from at that moment in time. But if you want a long hold, the simplistic thing to buy into is 83s, 84s, 85s below the price they are currently. Especially things like fullbacks, wingers. They tend to do very, very well because you need to have those for teams in terms of getting chemistry. So if, for example, we did get a Wan-Bissaka, it required 80 chem, you'd need to use fullbacks or wingers to get that chemistry. So they're always a very, very good shout in terms of the fodder you want to be buying into. Check the price before 6 PM. You're looking for maybe a 30-40% drop off if you can. But there will be demand for fodder during this promo at some point. There'll be, EA will probably bring out potentially a party bag. They'll potentially bring out another base to mid icon because they like to recycle content, so that could be an option. But fullbacks, wingers, that's usually where the money is. Avoid goalkeepers most of the time. Centre mids do quite well, but I like fullbacks and wingers. The likes of Gaia, Azpilicueta, Munayin, Oyarzabal, those guys do very, very well with fodder. So that's sort of the low tier stuff if you guys are looking to make coins. We're going to start talking about the mid tier stuff now. For those of you that are a bit more advanced, maybe got a bit more coins to spend, we'll talk about that. I will be right back. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about, and the reason why I call this a mid-tier investment is because the hold on these things tends to be a lot longer. Tonight when the team is released, now we've had a Ben Yedder leaked and it seems like we are getting Ben Yedder, but we don't really know who else is coming out yet. When that team comes out, those players are going to be announced, and what you will probably see is a rush investment of the cards that are going to be out of packs. By out of packs, we mean, let's say Ben Yedder does get in, which we expect, he will no longer be packable for the week that Headliners is out, for however long Headliners is out. That means that he has a finite supply. It means that people that want to use him will buy him off the market and his price will rise. The thing about this is you've got to be willing to have a long hold because the price will probably rise over the weekend. It will drop off, and then the longer that he's out of packs for, the more he will rise in value. The big but to that is, and it is a big but, when you go to buy these cards, they need to have a demand. So whether they're fodder cards or whether they're usable cards, they need to have a demand. If, for example, there's a card who is an 81 out of packs, is it really worth investing in? No, it's not. because that card probably hasn't got that much demand. If it's a meta card, then maybe, yeah, potentially it could be, but you want to be mindful of the fact that you want to be buying into cards that are out of packs that are going to have a demand. So if fodder's going to be needed, and let's say theoretically a Yazabal gets a headliner card, which is potentially, because he's had player of the month so far, a Yazabal's a guy to go and buy, because he's a left winger, high rated fodder, he would be a very, very good buy. Let's say theoretically, I don't know, trying to think of someone really completely random here, but like Gelson Martins, for example, relatively usable, but are you going to see massive returns on him? No, not really. And so I probably wouldn't buy into someone like a Gelson Martins. And that's what you've got to be thinking about. I will be talking about this on stream, by the way, so make sure you do click the link down below and come over to stream, because I'll be trying to help you guys as much as I can. The other thing to think about as well now is there's going to be a huge amount of supply tonight. So there's going to be a lot of packs being opened up. And this is where low-rated meta cards do very, very well in terms of making very quick profit. But again, you need to have decent coins for this method. So at the moment, a lot of people have just got this game for Christmas. And because of that, a lot of the low-rated meta cards have gone up in value quite significantly. Gabriel Jesus, who could be picked up at 5k last week, for Weekend League at the moment, he's about 8k, just short of 8k on Xbox. So he's exactly 8k in fact, on Xbox right now. Tonight, when people open up packs, these sort of cards are going to get packed a lot. 83 rated, 82 rated, 84 rated is going to get packed a huge amount. And so when they get packed, as with before, the undercuts happen on them. The way that this is effective, though, is, let's say, for example, Gabriel Jesus gets continually packed tonight and gets down to 6,000 coins. If you come back to sell him at 7 to 7,500 coins, the profit isn't massive. It's 1,000 coins profit. But if you're someone sat there with, I don't know, 700,000 coins on your account, and you go and buy 100 of these Gabriel Jesuses, for example, the profit might only be, at that time, 1,000 coins, but you get 100 of them, it's 100,000 coins, and it adds up very, very quickly. Where you can make even more money, though, is by buying these cards as they're listed in the panic, whatever it is, with chem styles on them. Ideally, hunters or shadows. So if people start to see that Gabriel Jesus is crashing in price, people will list them up for that price. Or, if they're coming to sell one with a hunter on it, they'll look on the market, see 6,000 coins, and sell him for that. But when he bounces back to 7,500 coins, that doesn't include his hunter, the value of a hunter on him. So you could be getting 8,500 coins. So they're the cards you want to be looking at. If you want examples of cards that you should be looking at to buy tonight, Musa Sissoko, Gabriel Jesus, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Marcos Llorente could do okay as well. He gets down to near enough discard price and these sort of things. Again, with a shadow on him, ideally. Fred does very well with these sort of things. He gets packed significantly because he's so low rated, but he's a very meta card for a newbie to use. They're the sort of cards you should be looking at. And then if you want to even get even more of a profit potential out of them, look for position changes as well. And by that I mean centre mids that are strikers. So, for example, if you get a Sissoko with a shadow and a striker on him, he's going to be worth more than a normal Sissoko or a normal Sissoko with a shadow on him because there's not that many. Gabriel Jesus, if he's a striker normally, obviously, down to Cam and CM, he makes more money because the conversion cards for those cards are quite expensive cards. They have a value too. You don't see too many of them on the market. So that's something else to be thinking about there realistically. The only thing you have to be mindful of with that is that you don't buy too many of the same player. Buy a few of different players. Spread your bets to allow for a different rise, a different time of rise on each card. You can then sell some of them that are ready to go at a certain point. Then Gabriel Jesus might rise a little slower. Then sell him off when he's a bit higher. And do it that way. Ideally, you want to get these cards sold, though, by Saturday. Saturday is the high point in the market, usually. Weekend leagues are in full flow. Try and get them sold into Saturday. That's when you should see big profit off of them. Usually, it's about a 12 to 24-hour hold maximum. And then you want to get rid of them before Weekend League sell off on the Sunday. But that's like really, really solid ways you can make in the low tier and the mid tier. Now we're going to talk about high tier. Very, very risky trading, but we'll have a look at it right now. I will be right back. All right, guys. So, headliners tend to be quite expensive cards because they're live cards that get upgraded in multiple ways. They get upgraded every time they get an inform or a special card. They get upgraded with 3 wins, I think it is this year in a row. It seems like it's going to be 3 wins. Last year it was 4. They're they're the highest version of that card until Team of the Season comes around, basically. The thing about EA this year, they've been very good with price ranges, but last year they weren't, and there have been a couple of times this year where they've been quite poor with them. You guys will know that cards on the market have a max and min price range. So let's say, for example, let's go Gold Team of the Week. Actually, let's go to a random one. Let's go to Record Breaker, for example. So let me just clear that off. For example, Jadon Sancho, right? I don't know what his price range currently is, but I'll check it for you now. Footwiz. Jadon Sancho. So Jadon Sancho's price range is currently up to 650,000 coins. Now, he sells for 275,000 coins on Xbox, but that's his price range. You can sell him for up to 650,000 coins. Whenever a promo drops at 6 PM, always look for the dodgy price range. And it's such an effective way to make coins, but it's extremely risky as well. Bruno Perez did this earlier in the year. They brought a Bruno Perez card out, and a lot of people said he had a dodgy price range on him. A lot of people bought into him and lost a lot of coins because I think his price range was 200,000 coins. He was never going to stay there. But sometimes EA will release a card and the price range on it is completely off. So for tonight, my thought process is if I look at Yedda, for example. Ben Yedda currently has a special card on the market, his Team of the Week. His Team of the Week is currently at 230,000 coins. Now, a headliner Ben Yedda is going to be hella expensive because you've got the chance for him to get upgrades throughout the year, live upgrades continually. If EA decide to give him a similar price range to what this one has, so his Team of the Week, I'll show you it quickly actually if I can. So his Team of the Week here has a 550,000 coin price range on Xbox, I think that is, yep, and 700,000 on PlayStation. If they go and give him a similar price range or a lesser price range than this card, to me, I will probably buy a couple of these on the other accounts that I've got. The reason for that is, with any sort of price range and any sort of card like that, there is, again, only a finite supply of these cards. So what happens is if you buy into these cards and the price range is completely off on them, and you've got it right, it's most important you got it right, when you come to sell these cards, when the price range is updated, you can make 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 coins at times on these cards. Because they basically, everyone holds them, there's no supply in the market, EA update that price range at that moment, you then list yours up for the price range, the top end of that price range, and someone will buy that card because they will want it there and then. It's a hella effective way to make coins, but it's incredibly risky because there's also the chance that the card gets a massive price range and everyone floods the market and the card ends up lower than it was when you bought that card. So last year, Alan Saint-Maximin had a striker, an orange, I think it was a hero or card, whatever they are, the orange card, league, like man of the match card. And everyone held those Alan Saint-Maximins for ages. EA updated the price range and they absolutely toppled in price. They collapsed in price. I then bought in at the collapse because what that was everybody selling them off and undercutting each other. He then steadily rose up again and I made very good profit from it. You only go in on these sort of cards if you've got very good coins and you sort of know what you're talking about with this sort of thing. But it is a really effective way to make coins from them. The other side of that as well is, one basic rule of FIFA has always been, when a card gets a special card, if some people can't afford the card, that one, they will buy the one below. So Yedda gets a special card tonight, there's a chance that people buy the one below. I would be monitoring the price of any of these special cards that have got Team of the Weeks below, Team of the Group stages below, because they tend to see a rise when those cards come out. It's, again, very risky. Something you need to look at and be sure of what you're doing. But if you see these cards start to climb up slowly but surely, it could be worth buying into them. Just be very, very careful, very, very careful that you're not buying into price ranges and the hype of a card because sometimes it doesn't come off. Bruno Perez, it was the key example of that. Everyone's saying he's too good for 200,000 coins and he's live and they're going to qualify from the group. And Bruno Perez, I'll tell you right now what he's sat at. Bruno Perez is currently sat at, even at 84, 127,000 coins. And it tells you that a lot of people got that very, very wrong. So a lot of people bought into him and it did not work at all. So you have to be mindful of that with Bruno Perez. He's the warning for this, I guess, is the best way of putting it. Last thing to think about tonight is buying into basically daily SBC fodder. We're going to get a lot of packs opened up tonight. Tons and tons and tons of packs opened up. It's going to happen all night long. There probably will be lightning rounds. We don't really know, but there probably will be. If you've got very little coins, a really easy way to make coins. Just go Defender, Premier League. Check what they're selling for at any one point. So right now they are very low in the Premier League. Very, very low. Like 650, 600 coins, okay? Come 6 PM, sit there, compare price back out and buy everything that pops under 650 coins. Whatever is the price at the time. It's basically coin farming. This Tete sells a little bit more than that. It's coin farming. It's a really simplistic way to make coins. And then, you do not sell them back straight away. I mean, I can't do it because that's all there. You don't sell them back straight away. What you do is you wait for the daily SBC that's a decent pack. So it might be a mega pack, it might be a rare Electrum Players pack. These sort of cards will spike in value. Don't just buy from the same league. Go Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, all of them. But buy into as close to discard price as possible. And you'll make very, very easy coins. Because later on at some point, an SBC will come out. And your cards will fit into that SBC. And you'll double or triple your coins on them. It's a really, really easy way to make coins without too much hassle at all. But that is tonight's sort of trading guide for tonight. How to make coins during headliners. Follow those tips. They will work. The risky ones, be careful with. If you've got a lot of coins, be careful with them, but they can pay off handsomely. I personally would stick to the mid-tier ones if I were you. I think that's where your money is best placed. But that is the end of the video. If you are new around here, as always, make sure you subscribe down below. Turn your notifications so you never miss an upload. But for now, lads, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.